Cecilia has been helping me and is helping me still so much, organizing meetings, and she's corresponding with the organizers all the time. For years.
Well, Vasula wants me to share my story with all of you. My conversion, okay. Anyway, I'm from the Philippines, and as we know, the Philippines is a very Catholic country. I come from a very religious family. And I met, slowly, I should speak slowly, because of the translators, I'm sorry. Anyway, from a very Catholic family. And one day I met Serve, everyone knows who my husband is, who's from Switzerland. He came to work in the Philippines. And I met him, and we fell in love, and after 2 years of courtship, because you know, you don't just get married like that in the Philippines, 2 years of courtship, we got married, but he was a Protestant. But that's fine, he agreed to all the requirements of the Catholic Church, signed all the papers, and we got married. But as everybody knows, marriage is not always easy. Yes or no? On top of it, suddenly we had a religious question. He would tell me, "You Catholics, everything is forbidden." And I would look at him and tell him, "Well, with you Protestants, you're too free." And so it would go on like this and like that until one day we decided, okay, let's forget religion and let's concentrate on our relationship. So that's what we did. We threw religion out of the window and decided to enjoy life. And we did. And after a few years, life begins to feel empty. And I was on my spiritual search. But I couldn't go to the Catholic Church because by that time I thought, oh, it's so primitive. I was living in Switzerland then, far from my family. It's so primitive. No, I don't believe in all of that anymore. Let me find something. So I found New Age, and I went deep into New Age. But my husband, I wanted to go into the spiritual path with him, but he was too busy with his career, with his ambition. And finally, that was a blessing. One day, a friend of mine from the Philippines called me in Switzerland to say she heard about a woman who God was speaking to. And I told my friend on the phone, oh yeah, really? Well, I want to interview this woman. She lives in Switzerland. Look for her. So I looked for her, and this woman called Vasula Ridden was living 30 minutes away from my house in Switzerland. And then my friend said, call her, I want an appointment with her. I'm going to interview her for Philippine television and video. So I said, okay. You know, as most people know me, I'm a very friendly person, right? You tell me about someone, I'll go up to that person and say, hi, I'm Cecilia, you know? You can be the president of, no, not Switzerland, no. But I'm not shy. But when my friend told me about this woman, I said, I'm gonna write the letter, okay? Because I had driven to the address where this woman lived, and I checked, yes, she lives here. But I'm not gonna ring her doorbell. I'm not gonna do that. What if she opens the door and she's full of stigma? Anything like that. So arranged everything. And then volcano, Mount Pinatubo, erupted in the Philippines. We remember that, I think. And she was delayed. So I called Vasula and said, you know, my friend is going to be late because the volcano erupted, the airport's closed. Can she interview you a week later? And Vasula said, yes, but not in my house because my son is arriving from Sweden. And my house will be full of boxes. So I tell her, okay, come to my house. Come to Nyong, which is half an hour from her, and we can meet each other and she can interview you. So Vasula asks me, how will I know you, who you are? I said, well, you know, I'm an Asian. How will I know you? And then she says, oh, I'll be driving a gray Fiat, 3 p.m. Wednesday. So I'm at the train station waiting for this gray Fiat to come in, and 3 o'clock sharp, the gray Fiat comes. And I'm in my car, looking across the street at this gray Fiat, and I see a hand come out like this, you know? And then the door opens, and this woman comes out of the car, crosses the street to me to say hello, and what do I see? I see this tall, blonde, slim woman with boots, wearing boots this high, and tight jeans. And I say behind my wheel, while she's crossing the street, oh my gosh, God talks to her? I don't think so. My poor friend came all the way from the Philippines to meet a fake. But when Basula came to my window and said, oh, hello, yes, how are you, Please follow me to my house. And so Basula came to my house. She was interviewed by my friend, and I was listening to everything for about an hour. And at that time, the messages were not printed yet. At that time, Basula was describing how Jesus looked. His face, the color of his hair, wavy, light brown hair, his eyes, clear pools of blue, and his dimples. That was the beginning. And I was just listening to all of this, and she was sharing with us the anecdotes about how he's always with us, even if we don't see him, how he's always there, and how he wants us always to be with him. He wants us to be intimate with him. So I'm listening to all of these things in my house for about an hour, and my friend is interviewing and filming her. And suddenly I remember, hey, this is my house. I prepared a cake. My guests must be thirsty. So I stood up from my chair after listening to Basula describe Jesus, how gentle he is. I mean, actually, it was everything I thought God was, okay, what she was saying, but it didn't enter right away. When I stood up, I felt a dizziness. You know, it was like I drank 3 glasses of wine on an empty stomach. I was lightheaded. And I go to my kitchen, my little kitchen, and I take out, start looking for the glasses and what I had prepared. And then I feel a heat. I stop like this because first of all, I hear a voice that tells me, he's here. The King of Kings is here. And I realize he's in my house. The King of Kings is in my house. Where is my silver tray? Where is my crystal glasses? Where is my porcelain? I was jumping around my kitchen like a crazy woman because I had no helper, and I had to serve the King of Kings. Oh my goodness! And I was jumping around, and I heard again a voice. I don't know if it was outside or inside, but he's always here. And the heat came again from the top of my head to down, and I took my wooden tray with the glasses and the cake and everything, and I came and served Pasula and everyone in my home. That was my experience of conversion. It was quite weird, actually, but it was wonderful. It was like it happened yesterday. And what I have to say is that the thing that Pasula said when she spoke that day was when she spoke about unity. Because my husband, Protestant, remember, and then Catholic, and we just couldn't jive our thoughts and our lives. When she said that, then I realized that it was the Lord calling me, and the door was open for both of us through True Life in God. True Life in God saved my marriage. True Life in God saved my life, personally. And I thank Pasula forever. And I